Is there anybody who doesn't have a partner? Okay, excellent. So, this is what you need to do. While you're standing there, you need to change something that's obviously not right on your personal self. You need to put your keys in your mouth, your name tag on your head, your shoe under your armpit. You need to change something that's dramatically different. Maybe your glasses on upside down. Change something that is dramatically different. And then when I say go, you are going to turn around and face your partner. And you are going to name out, call out 5 ways in which they have appropriately prepared themselves for today's little workshop. And then after you've called out those 5 positive things, then you can tell them the one thing they might want to consider missing. So go ahead and change that one odd thing right now without your partner seeing. Okay, remember 5 positive statements first, and then what you might want to change. Go. So tell me, how was that? Awesome. Was that easy? No. The mind so easily goes towards that one thing that needs fixing. We often see the imperfections before we see the things that are going well. This is tough. This goes against our thinking, so we need to be disciplined in our practice. Sometimes we need little reminders. Now, this is a picture of a teacher at Chinook Elementary, Gila Jacobson, a resource room teacher. She plasters this on her desk because she wants to make sure that she remembers this, whether she's talking to parents or she's talking to other students in an instructional group. And so for you here, you might see that you have a 5-to-1 magnet that I have left you. Please place this in wherever it would be meaningful for you, where you're going to see it and remember, oh yeah, I need to shoot for the 5-to-1 ratio. If you need more of these, I have more of these that I can get to you. Now, the honest part of this is that maintaining a 5-to-1 ratio is very difficult. So let me tell you my little secret weapon in this. This is a Patrickism. This is a personal thing. Shoot for the things that are going to stick. People are going to remember. Sometimes people say that you just need food, air, water, and compliments to live. And so I think anytime you can incorporate some of those together, people are going to appreciate it. So anytime you can go a little bit out of the way, and this donut tastes much better than it looks, trust me. But it's that extra effort that people are going to remember. There's a big difference between giving someone some chocolates and giving someone some chocolates and a smiley face. There's a difference between telling someone that they did a great job personally or doing it in front of their peers. This last year I had the opportunity to go out to Alpaca Elementary and see some great teaching, and upon getting back to my office I decided to email the teacher and CC her supervisor and all of her colleagues on what I saw. I said, thank you so much for inviting me to come out to observe today. I absolutely love your passion for pushing in instead of pulling out for kids whom you serve. Sometimes it seems like effectively providing services in the gen ed environment is just a myth, like the Loch Ness Monster. We all talk about it, but has anyone actually seen it? Does it really exist? Well, I witnessed it today, and it was great. You made a believer out of me. Thank you so much for your energy and heart you put into kids. Later that day, the teacher replied back, wow, Patrick, thank you so much. I appreciate your words today. Of all days, more than I can say, I'm going to frame this email from Nessie. I didn't see her until a month later, and she was still talking about this email. This took me 3 minutes to do, but it meant the world to her. And so this dramatically helped me in my 5-to-1. So it's not that you need to specifically do 5-to-1 for every person you interact with, but you can certainly make an impact, a large impact on one person that's in your inner circle throughout a given year in a way that they're going to remember, they're going to carry with them. Now, the other great part of this is that when we use the 5-to-1, we're just not maintaining a positive relationship, we're also shaping their behavior. We are raising the roof for them. And when we praise someone, we reinforce their behavior, we increase their capacity to perform. When you raise the roof for someone, you raise the ceiling at which they can perform. It is only when you forget to raise the roof, when things start to come crashing down. Let me show you what I mean. On your tables, everybody has a stack of 10 cups. As quickly as you can on your tables, make a pyramid. 4, 3, 2, 1. That look just like this. Go. Everybody on task. Fabulous. Now, I would like to think in education, we are particularly fascinated with shapes. And even more recently, an egg shape. I hadn't seen that before until you introduced that, kid. That was great. I would say oftentimes we reach for the triangle. We reach for the pyramid. And what we're looking at today is this multi-tiered system of supports where we categorize our supports that we provide kids based on what every kid needs, based on what some kids need who are struggling a little bit, and what just a few kids need who are really struggling. So, what happens when we get so caught up on that top tier intervention that we forget to maintain one of the foundational pieces that every kid needs? What happens when we get so caught up with having crucial and fierce conversations with some of our staff that we forget to maintain the 5 to 1 or give common expectations? As quickly as you can. We'll have to edit that out. As quickly as you can, pull out one of the foundational supports and see if your pyramid stays standing. No trickery. Go. Another one bites it up. You see, what behavioral science tells us is that when we fail to do the things that what most kids need, what every kid needs, we compromise the whole operation. But I will tell you, we can learn so much more about this. There is another science. Some may even call it a greater science. It actually predates behaviorism by about 50 years. And we've been talking about it the entire time. Making the home field advantage. Chanting in unison. Is that glitter on your fingers? I'm talking none other than the great sport of cheerleading. Whether you know it or not, each and every one of you are cheerleaders. Your fitness may be more of mind than body. Your uniforms might look a little bit different. But you are all cheerleaders because the skilled cheerleader knows in order to make a difference for the players out on the field or on the court, that it's not about yelling at them, but it's about turning their vessel of energy, their megaphone, to the environment and making that environment supportive, and then that result creates a higher success rate for those out on the court or field. If you've ever found yourself saying, well, I told him 100 times, then you too have been the dumb cheerleader yelling at the player thinking that you would make a difference. I can tell you so much about this because once upon a time, I wielded this. I used to be this man.
Informed with Kren.com.
We are the Gonzaga University cheerleaders from Spokane, Washington. And before we get back for a big game, we'd like to...
I used to say Gonzaga, but I guess it is Gonzaga. Yeah, well, I mean, he said Gonzaga. Yeah, welcome back to the early show. I'm Renee Tyler along with Harry.
Did you hear that? She called me, hey! Mom was so proud. Cheerleader Pat is what they called me. And we were a unique squad of 8 guys and 8 girls, and because of that, of all things, we were well-versed in building pyramids. And actually, ESPN decided to follow us around for a week, and they were writing an article on is cheerleading athletic? I think they got their question answered. Oftentimes we would have these photos of these pyramids, and you look at them and your eyes go directly to the top, to these pretty girls standing at the top of these pyramids. And I know what you're thinking. Must have been nice hanging around all those pretty girls. Well, let me tell you, it's not what you think. When you stand and someone's shoes are being dug into your shoulders, their weight, their life is in your balance, and they themselves are holding up somebody else, your mind tends to go more toward concepts like stability and strength. Those are the efforts that nobody ever really sees. Much like in this picture here, you couldn't see me. And I was perfectly okay with that. In fact, I was proud, because that's life in the pyramid. And every single day, you live life in the pyramid, and for the same reason, you should be proud. In some form or fashion, you support someone else or other people in your job. And oftentimes, your work, it goes unnoticed, it goes unrecognized, because it's not about you. It's about those who stand at the top of our pyramids. All attention, all focus, all conversation goes to making sure that those people on top are stable. And in education, that's where our students go. Education is a pyramid scheme, except it is a trickle-up effect. The kids get the results of our gifts, for better or for worse, in all that we do. You're never at the top, but you're never at the bottom, because there's always someone out there in some way supporting you in what you do. In fact, there are many administrators in this building who support, or in this room, who support other administrators who are sitting here. And I will tell you from personal experience that the deeper you go in the pyramid, the more you're holding up, oftentimes the more you go unrecognized. And so while our building administrators do fabulous work, if you are not a principal, assistant principal, or dean of students, would you please stand up for a moment? These are the people who we stand on every single day. And so often we don't get an opportunity to genuinely thank them. So please give them a round of applause.